Let's take a moment and talk about gallery wrap canvas portraits and displaying them in collections on the wall. I want to talk about two things. Number one, I want to talk about why these are such wonderfully unique ways to decorate in portraits, probably the most exciting way to decorate with senior and family photography today. And number two, I want to talk about how on earth do you get a display like this up on the wall evenly spaced. So let's cover those two topics here briefly. First off, I want to talk about why gallery wrap canvas collections are such a wonderful way to decorate. If you take a senior portrait session of a boy, for instance, or a girl, what we do is we take an anchor piece, a main piece that really pulls the eye, and for Sean, I mean, this is just Sean. Fashion, bulky young man, just, I mean, the biceps on this, I call this portrait pipes, okay? And that's my anchor piece for Sean. Now, we have that to draw the eye in, but he had a fantastic session with different locations, different looks, and so we pull those in with accent pieces as well. What's nice is at the end of the day, I have a 20 by 30, two 8 by 10s, and an 8 by 10, and they take up the space of a single framed portrait on the wall. The dimensions here are 32 by 30, so it's basically less than, it's a 2.5 foot square on the wall, and we get to display 4 different aspects of Sean's portrait session. Another thing that I like about the gallery wrap collection is that there are no frames. And because there are no frames, they take up less space on the wall. Now imagine these were 4 framed prints, and we had 2.5 to 3 inches of frame on each side of each print. That would add 5 or 6 inches in width both ways, plus we'd need more separation between the prints, between the framed prints, and we'd have all kinds of vertical and horizontal lines pointing in all directions in our decor. With the gallery wrap canvas, what we have is a very clean presentation, not a lot of lines, really the art is the focus on the wall. And here we have one of my favorite gallery wrap collections, 4 11 by 14s. We have 2 horizontal portraits, 2 vertical portraits, and when we display them 2 inches apart, they form a perfect square, taking up no more than 27 by 27 inches on your wall. That's no more space than the traditional single portrait with all of its framing. Now let me take just a moment and explain what is a gallery wrap canvas. A gallery wrap canvas is printed on artist's canvas. It has an artistic look and feel, and it is wrapped around an internal frame that goes back 1.5 inches, so it has a black reveal going back to the wall for 1.5 inches. The back is finished off with paper and a sawtooth hanger on the very back. Let me take one of these portraits real quickly and just show you one that is unfinished on the back, and you can see the construction that goes into these. They have 4 blocks of wood and 4 braces in the back. These are very rigid, very strong. Okay, next let's talk about displaying your gallery wrap portrait collection on the wall. You're going to want the display to be a certain height from the ceiling, a certain height from the floor, and you're going to want there to be a certain amount of even spacing between each of the portraits. How do you know where to place the nails or the hangers for each one of those portraits? Here's what we do at Graham Photography. We send you home, if you got the 20 by 30 collection, we send you home with a blueprint. And this blueprint will have plus marks where the nails go. So that all you do is place this blueprint on the wall, tape to the wall, and level. Step back and make sure it's a height that you like, and then poke through at the plus marks and score the wall where you want to put your hangers. Let me show you, not with the 20 by 30 collection today, but I'll show you with 4 11 by 14s how we display portraits using the blueprint. Okay, step number 1 is done. With the help of my 11-year-old son Isaac, I had him hold the paper up against the wall. I held this along one of these lines, making sure I was holding the paper level, and then I taped it up against the wall. My next step is to score the 4 nail holes marked with a plus mark against the wall, so that when I take this down, I can see clearly where to place my wall hangers. Okay, so here we go. My next 2 tools. I am using a thumbtack and an ink pen. I'll use the thumbtack to poke a hole through my paper and into the wall, and then to just make sure I can see my markings in this dark wall, I'll reach through with a fine point ballpoint pen and draw a little X through that hole. Then I will take 4 of these hangers that push down and into the drywall, and then they have a little metal knob that works perfectly with the sawtooth hangers that we put at the top center of each of our gallery wrap canvases. In my walls, the gallery wrap is a little, the holes are a little hard to find because they're so dark and textured. This is a faux leather finish from Ralph Lauren that we painted in. Now, as you can see, using my gallery wrap template blueprint, I now have 4 hangers. These 2 are even in height, but these 2 are not even in width, nor are these 2, and nor are these 2 even in height. If you can imagine trying to measure that out for yourself, I just think it would cause major headaches. But here we go. We'll display the prints and see if we got it right. As I level these up, I am both looking at the level and I'm looking at the edges. Are my edges coming out correctly? And there we have it. 4 11 by 14s displayed in a single 27 by 27 inch space on the wall in your home. The total time using our blueprint to establish this took me 10 minutes, and that includes messing with the video camera. So it's really an easy way to display your portraits and a great way to use more than one portrait from your session in one wall space in your home.